What is going on, you guys? This is Tech HD coming at you with a brand new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Sokani X60 version number 2 COB LED video light. It is a small portable COB light, but still very powerful to light up a subject. And we're also going to be taking a look at the Lantern Softbox from Sokani as well. We're going to be seeing what it comes with, talk about the features, how it performs for both video and photos, and then give you guys my overall thoughts. So taking a look at what it comes with, you can see that there's a small carrying case, so portability is nice and easy. Inside the case we have the instructions manual, the AC power brick and the cable, a standard reflector, the RC1 remote, and lastly we got the X60 V2 itself. Now taking a look at the back of the X60, we have an LCD screen to show us the brightness, color temperature, mode it's in, etc. And we have the AC port, the on and off switch, the control dial that's also a button, the channel and group button, the trigger lock button, the CCT button, and the effects button. Taking a look at the remote, you can see that it's all the buttons that was on the X60, including the LCD screen that's very helpful for when you're unable to change the settings from the X60 itself. Now the X60 V2 is super portable and lightweight. Comparing it to the Leashway 150D COB light, you can see how much smaller it really is. Perfect for using it as a top-down light since it doesn't weigh that much, but it's also very powerful. It is 80 watts and has a CRI of 96+, so it's very color accurate, and you can see going from 1% to 100%, it gets really bright and it's powerful enough for any type of shooting. It has a handle on the back for easy portability and lugging around, and the version 2 model, there is an improved yoke that has a rosette lock, so you are able to have a big softbox attached and be able to angle it however way you want, and it'll hold it with no problems. Another improvement on the version 2 is the built-in fan noise, and it is very minimal and you really can't hear it, so it's great for any type of video style. On the front you can see the COB light, and you can see that it uses a Bowens mount, so you have a wide selection of attachments like using a softbox and the Lantern Softbox. Speaking of Lantern Softbox, take a look at that. It comes with a nice carrying bag for easy travel, and setting it up is super easy. You just insert the frame into the diffuser and you push downwards and it'll extend and it hooks onto the bottom, and that's how it holds and you are all set. The frame itself is metal, so it's really good quality there. Now the last thing that I want to cover is the lighting effects that it offers. There are 5 effects like the TV effect, the lightning effect, the bad bulb effect, fireworks, and the flashing mode effect. All of these can be beneficial for indie filmmaking to help sell that effect and mood that you are trying to capture. The last thing that I want to mention is that Sokani also sells the battery adapter for the X60 that connects with a D-tap and uses Sony MPF batteries. This is perfect for when you're out shooting and you have no place to plug it in, so I definitely recommend purchasing this as well. But now that we covered everything, let's see how this light performs in a photo shoot scenario. Alright you guys, so you saw in my last clip I was using the Sokani X60 with the Parabolic softbox with some grids, and that was mainly used for photography use. Now this is how I use it for video use. I have it paired with the Lantern Softbox, and I'm using an overhead shot, and you can see my B cam right now how I have it set up. I just have it on a C-stand and I'm using an extended arm to get that overhead shot, and it lights up the subject perfectly. It still looks very nice, cinematic, very professional like, and I like this setup because it is a 360-degree type of light setting, but it's nice and well diffused. And I like this setup because it not only highlights me, it also highlights a little bit of the background, so it's not so much focus on the subject. It spills a little bit to the background. and I could keep the brightness really low. I literally have it set to 25%, but I could bring it up to 100 if I want to. And I really like this setup because I could keep it in the center and in my studio, and I can move around the camera and I can still light myself up very nicely, and I could really just mess with the brightness and I don't really have to move around the light at all, which is really nice. Now, you don't need to necessarily have the Lantern Softbox as an overhead shot. This is just normally how I prefer it. You could just have it on the C-stand, and I'll show you guys in a bit how I usually have that one set up as well. But I really like the overhead shot because, like I said, it highlights everywhere. It's a nice overhead shot. It highlights the hair a little bit as well as the subject, and it not only highlights the main person like the key light, but it also spills a little bit to the background and lights up a little bit of the background. But this is normally how I have it set up. I have a bunch of the lights turned off in my studio. I have some practical lights turned on, and I have this one as my main key light. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below as far as the light goes. And now let me show you guys other ways that I have this light set up. Okay, you guys, so the next lighting setup that I have is with the X60 with the Lantern Softbox, and that one is sitting directly at me. So it's just angled up on a C-stand, very simple, and angled downward to hit directly at me. And before, the light before that I had set up was with a top-down angle, and that one was hitting me, but also a lot of the background. It was creating that 360-degree lighting fill. And this one is really nice. Now, this one is hitting me directly at me, just angled a little bit down, and that light is set to about 35%. I am controlling it with the RC1 remote that it comes with. So I love how I could literally stand where I want to be at and then slowly raise or lower the brightness intensity. And then you can see at my B cam how the light is set up, and I really like this setup. Now, just to let you guys know that if you're using the Lantern Softbox, it's gonna be pretty bright, and it's gonna not only light you up but a little bit of the background, so it's gonna spill a little bit to the background. I personally like this setup because I don't want the background to be too dark. That's why I have some practical lights enabled as well. So I kind of like this setup. If you were to use a Parabolic softbox light, and I'm gonna show you guys that in a minute, you're gonna see it's a lot more moody, and it's gonna be hitting directly at you, especially when it's attached with the grid. That one's gonna hit directly at you, and it's not really gonna fill up the background as well. So I like the background to be lit up just a little bit, but I want the main focus to be on the actual subject. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of this lighting setup. Now I wanna show you guys with the Parabolic softbox and see how that one compares to. You guys, and the last light setup that I wanted to show you is with the X60 paired with the deep Parabolic softbox, as you guys saw in the photo shoot that I did. This is the 120 centimeter paired with the grid, so I'll have that link down in the description below so that you guys can see which one specifically I'm using. But basically, this one is creating a much softer lighting, so much softer when it comes to the shadows and also on the subjects. And I have the light set to about the same brightness, about 35%. I just swapped it out from the Lantern Softbox with this one. And so let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I like this setup. I prefer the Lantern Softbox because I like it to spill a little bit on the background and light up a little bit of the background. This one, as you can see, creates a much more serious, more moody type of cinematic shot, and is mainly focused on me. And with the grid specifically, it really focuses on the subject in front, and it doesn't like to spill on the background. So depending on what you're trying to shoot, depending on what you're trying to get, will determine if you want to go with the Parabolic softbox or with the Lantern softbox. Either one will work really great. They're both gonna make improve your lighting setup a lot and make your setup look much more professional and cinematic. And it really depends on you guys on which one you guys want to use. There'll be times when I use the softbox, Parabolic softbox, and there'll be times when I use the Lantern softbox. Now, taking a look at the B cam, you guys can see how I have the light set up is the same way that I had the Lantern softbox set up. It was really high up and angled downwards, but this one takes up a lot more space. So that might be a deal breaker or not. If you guys have enough room for this type of softbox, I personally prefer the Lantern softbox because it's much more easier to set up and it takes up a lot less space, so I can really move it around and put it anywhere that I want to. This one takes up a little bit more space and it's a little bit more time consuming to set up. But I will have links to both of the softboxes down in the comments below, and I'll show you guys side by side on the Lantern softbox versus the Parabolic softbox, and you guys can determine which one you guys will personally prefer, or if there's no difference or not, and then you guys can compare price points as well as far as the softbox goes. So my overall thoughts of the Sokani X60 version number 2 and the Lantern softbox is I really like the portability of the light itself, and it makes it super easy to travel with, and everything fits in the carrying case. The light itself is very strong and can be used for any type of scenario. The only cons that I have is nothing regarding the light, but more towards the remote itself. I would like the ability to turn the light on and off by the remote instead of just unplugging it. The on and off button on the remote is for the remote itself, and I kind of see that as pointless. I recommend just having a turn off timer of about 5 minutes and using that button to power the light instead. The other thing that I want to warn you guys is about the battery adapter. It works great, but only for the MPF batteries that is over 8,000 milliamps. I have a ton of 6,000 milliamp hour MPF batteries, but I can't use them and it doesn't even power the light on. So make sure that you buy 8,000 milliamp hour batteries. I'll leave a link down in the description below of the ones that I'm currently using. As far as the Lantern Softbox goes, I really like the ease of use to set it up, and I like the portability and not having it to take so much space, and it looks great for videos. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, as well as everything will be linked down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so that you guys can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. As always, it's Tech HD. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!